Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. Joining us now is a flyweight fighting out of Albuquerque, Jordan Espinosa. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You got a big fight against Nick Urso February 13th at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. It's the main event under Jackson's MMA Series 17. How did this fight get put together, man? It's been something us at swfight.com have been wanting for a while.
No, for sure. It's been about a year in the making, ever since he fought my former teammate Josh Montoya. I kind of called him out on social media. Did not think he was going to take the fight, but I'm glad he did.
How typical is that of you to be calling out people on social media? And then two, for the fight to actually even happen. I mean, there are times where you call people out, just in general, not you specifically, but the fight never materializes. How did you get this one to happen?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not something I typically do. I mean, I've never done it before. I've thought about it before, but being in New Mexico for a little bit after my fight at Route 66, a little bit of time went by since I was able to get another fight, and it was kind of harder to find fights. I mean, I just thought it was a great opportunity, and as I was watching that fight, it was kind of an emotional decision to go on Facebook and say, I want Nick Urso, but it's what I felt at the time, and hasn't changed. Nothing's changed in the past year.
Now, Nick Urso comes from, obviously, one of the most well-known camps in the world in Jackson's MMA. So therefore, because he's one of their top flyweights, is seen as a UFC prospect of sorts. So what do you think about this opportunity, fighting a guy who's been knocking on the UFC door for about a year and a half now?
I mean, I honestly think it's fluff. I mean, he does train out of Jackson's.
Right.
He has a great record, but the guys he's beaten in my opinion, are mediocre besides Josh Montoya. His next best win might be Jesus Urbina, who, in my opinion, is not on my level either. So the opportunity is great. I know the UFC has been knocking on his door for I don't know why, but I'm gonna take full advantage of the opportunity.
You brought off Josh Montoya, obviously one of the most veteran guys at your weight class here in not just in northern New Mexico, but the entire state of New Mexico. You were at that fight when he and Nick Urso fought. What did you think of that contest? A lot of people thought it was a wide decision, but there was a pretty even contest for the most part, especially from the groundwork Josh was doing in that fight.
Yeah, so I was pretty frustrated. Honestly, from a fan perspective and as a teammate. I even talked to Josh about it. I was just frustrated because I was like, if either of them would have pushed the pace a little bit more, it would have been a more clear-cut victory for either side.
Yeah.
I thought both of them were kind of just lackadaisically, like point sparring and whatnot. I think Josh could have pulled it out. I do think it was a close fight,
right,
but the time Josh spent on bottom is probably what caused his downfall and ultimately the decision loss. I mean, when we get in the cage, it's going to be completely different. I mean, he is not 100% going to probably even attempt to take me down because of my wrestling pedigree. And if he does go to the ground,
yeah,
he's done. So,
in a weird way, you guys have a lot of similarities, not just based off of your guys' skills, but the fact that Nick Urso is kind of a nomad like you are, also known to train in different parts of the country at different times. What kind of benefit do you think that is for you to be able to get all that background? I know for the most part you've been establishing yourself over the past couple of years here in Albuquerque, but you still have found that time to go from gym to gym in the Midwest or in the East Coast.
Yeah, no, in this sport you kind of have to be selfish. So you have to take full advantage of the opportunities that are presented in front of you. And as it's an individual sport, mostly, and so my advice is just, hey, be a sponge, soak in as much as you can, and pick what works for you, and if it doesn't, move on. I mean, yeah, loyalty is a great thing, and I have a great family over at Latrell Yee MMA, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change the camp where I'm at right now for anything else in the world. I may dabble somewhere else to pick up, I don't know, certain wrestling techniques, certain Muay Thai stuff, but this is my home.
Yeah, I know you don't feel that Nick Urso is necessarily worthy of some of the UFC praise or eyes that he's receiving, but a victory over him would definitely help you and boost your resume just that much more because of what happened in your last fight when you fought Barata Freitas in a fight where I think you were more than a 4-1 underdog on national television. How did that, I guess, boost the attention toward you here, just not regionally but nationally, after that victory for you?
It was great, and then even after that victory, I went on a week's notice to Pennsylvania a few months later and fought a 4-0 guy. Like, he had like 2,000 fans there, and I beat him in 2 minutes. But, I mean, to me, honestly, I just want to take it fight by fight, win by win, not think too much into whether this is a big fight or if it's going to get me to the UFC. But obviously, the last person to beat Nick Urso, Ray Borg, got into the UFC after that fight. So this is a big fight, and I'm aware of it, but it's not something that I consciously just have on my mind. I'm not thinking of it. I'm not letting it consume any of my time or energy. So
the fight's taking place at Buffalo Thunder. Talk about the convenience of only being about an hour and a half from home.
No, it's sweet. I got to fight for the first time in a long time here in Albuquerque, or even anywhere within the area, at Route 66 for the Legacy card against Barata. It's not many chances I get to fight out here. What's also awesome is that I have family coming from Wisconsin, coming from North Carolina, coming from Indiana that are coming out here to watch me fight. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you've talked about in the past about being a sponge and just learning and always shaping and sharpening your tools. How has strength and conditioning, this new strength and conditioning program that you've started, helped you? And just see that there's more than just going to wrestling practice, going to jiu-jitsu practice, going to boxing.
No, it sucks, but I mean, I'm like constantly sore and whatnot. But no, it's gonna make huge leaps and bounds in my stamina game and my conditioning. And not that I've ever had a problem in my conditioning before. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been well conditioned. I like to run, which a lot of people don't. And so I'm excited to see what advantages it brings to this upcoming fight.
Before we let you go, we kind of started this last week with Andrew Chenison, a little bit of rapid fire for you. Just quick questions. Tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. So, What is your favorite part about training? What is your least favorite part about training?
Least favorite part? I don't like getting hit. I hate getting hit.
Yeah. Favorite movie of all time?
Inception.
Favorite fighter of all time?
God.
MMA and boxing?
MMA and boxing, Frankie Edgar and Muhammad Ali.
Oh, I like those two. Favorite book of all time?
Dante's Inferno.
Oh, I like that one too. So before we let you go, let the people know where they can reach you on social media.
You can find me on StateChamp103 on Twitter, or Facebook.com/StateChamp103, and also on Instagram, StateChamp_103.
Make sure you guys follow him on all those social media platforms. And again, February 13th, Jordan Espinosa against Nick Urso, Buffalo Thunder Resort Casino. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys after the break.